Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to this webinar where I will explain how to work with channels in Dynamicweb PIM and why channels can be so useful for the companies to use. My name is Søren Jensen. I'm the product manager of PIM in Dynamicweb, and I'll be your speakers of today. What I'll speak about is all around the PIM modules in our Dynamicweb all-in-one platform. The agenda for the next 30 minutes will be first where I will, with the PowerPoint, tells you about why channels and feeds can be so important. Then I will show what is channels and feeds in Dynamicweb platform. And I will show how to maintain the channels and feeds. And finally, I will make a showcase where I use InDesign with the plugin Easy Catalog, where I can extract product data directly from our PIM module as a feed. Now, let's start with the first one. Why channels and feeds? Well, compared to if a company had to decided to have a PIM system in their organization, is typically because they want to get in control of the product data, the product informations, how to maintain them, and definitely also have control of where these product data should be distributed, which channels they should be distributed. So that's why channels and feeds are so important, is because this is a way of the company to be control of how to distribute the product data. Now, if you take an overview or a schematic overview of Dynamicweb PIM, we can see this area there dimmed is because this is the raw PIM area and the e-commerce. Now, because the PIM module in Dynamicweb are placed on the same platform as the e-commerce and marketing modules, then of course we have the direct access to this e-commerce. Otherwise, if you want to connect to another e-commerce or to our platforms with the product data that have been approved and maintained in Dynamicweb PIM, then you can assign them to a channel, and the channel will take control of how to distribute and how to organize the data that should go to the specific distribution channels. That could of course be channels to third-party websites, that could be to printing catalogs, and maybe to third-party marketplaces. And all this maintaining of the product data that are assigned to channels can of course be controlled by the user management system. So if you have an organization where the users or there are markets responsible, they should be aware of which products go to which markets, then of course you can, with the user permission system, control which products and which channels each users can maintain. Now, if you take this look, and that's basically the setup I have on my demo system when I switch to that, I have 3 channels. I have designed a channel for distributing data, product data, to be used in InDesign and Easy Catalog, and organized for meet that requirement. I also have a channel set up that maintain the products that should go into my partner network. Now, if it's a company that have a couple of partners, maybe in different areas or market areas, then you can organize all the products that should go into a specific area. And when the partners access the feed or get sent the file, it can be formatted to be used in various type of platforms or e-commerce systems. That could be Magento, that could be Sitecore, that could be other e-commerce systems where the products are distributed and formatted correct for the different platform's needs. And the third one is how to show that it can also control the products that go into different marketplaces like Amazon or eBay. Again, Amazon, eBay, and other marketplaces have different requirements for taking the products and the product information to place it correct into the marketplace itself. So let's go into and take a look at what is channels and feeds. Now, we call it channels and feeds because we have separated the organization of the products and the transferring and delivering the data to the channel. So if we first take a look at the channels, again, the channels is where you organize the products you want to go into that specific channel. Now, because there are different requirements depending on if you're sending to a catalog production, or you may be sent to a partner network, or specific if you try to send to a marketplace, there are different requirements of how should the products be structured and what kind of information should go with the feed out to the channel to have the correct structure and correct informations. That's why we have the channels, because with the channels, the user, maybe the responsible person for the marketplace, they have access to the products, the approved products. They have access to the channels. They can place the products into the channels where the products should go to, but they don't have to think about the formats and how they're going to distribute it. They're just focusing on assigning the product to the correct channels and channel structures. So channels is where the users interactive can place the products into the correct structure for each individual channel. Now, if we take a look, screen dump here, I go into the live system in a few minutes, but there you can see I have a channel called printing catalog. And in that channel, I have made this main catalog with 4 sections, section 1 to section 4. And each of these sections represent bikes and clothing and shoes and so on. Again, it's just an example of how to maintain the products. You will see later on when I go to InDesign and the Easy Catalog that this structure have effect on how the products are organized in Easy Catalog. Again, the channel is just to assign the products to the specific channels. It's not to maintain the products in there. It's just to assign them there and to maybe sorting them individual in between, but not for make enrichment. That's done in the PIM area. So this is an example of channels and channels set up for a printing catalog. If you then take the feeds, the feeds are attached to the channel, and there could be multiple feeds to one channel. Now, if you take the first feed in the top, I have tried to illustrate that this is an InDesign feed. Now, it's not only InDesign, because it's also have, in my demo in a few minutes, it also have the Easy Catalog plugin. So the feed in the channels are made so it fit into the way the Easy Catalog plugin are working. And those of you that know about Easy Catalog knows that this is a plugin that can make a lot of transformations and organizing of data and automate things flowing out of each pages. So quite complex product and very, very useful for generating printing catalogs. Now, this setup I have on my system can export the output as an XML and an Excel file. The one I will show is by using the XML directly on a feed. In the middle, you can see I have my partner network. And again, as a company, you decide that these products should go into the partner network. The manager of the market is maybe not is just responsible for placing the products in the channel. Depending on if the partner are using, let's say, Magento or Sitecore or maybe other e-commerce solutions, there could be made a feed that will fit into the required informations to each of these platforms. So basically, the company can say that we have a partner network, you can attach to this feed, and depending on what platform you're using for e-commerce, you can select the feed that meet your requirements. Again, that's typically the export feed there are typically a JSON format, XML format, and even sometimes CSV format, but typically is JSON and XML that are distributed in that type of solutions. And finally, we maybe also have a channel where we want to maintain products that go into different marketplaces. The most known marketplaces are probably Amazon and eBay, but as you may know, there are a lot of locally marketplaces around the world. So a lot of these marketplaces have a specific format, and you can set up that format in our distribution provider. That could be XML, that could be JSON, that could be whatever format, and then maintain the transferring of the data to this specific platform. Again, typically it's JSON and XML, and even some users export to an Excel file because then they can upload it to the specific marketplaces. But then, of course, it's not automatically updated. So an example of feeds setup could be this one. It's a partner feed XML. You can in the feed window, setup window, you can specify which fields should go into the feed. That could be custom fields, that could be even category fields, and you can decide what type of format do you want to transfer it to. Now, as you can see in this example, we have an XML, have a JSON, and even we have the Excel CSV format. Now let's switch to our live system. Take a look into what we can do. Now again, this is my login to the backend, and I have my checked my PIM module. I get my dashboard, as you probably know, and have all the information about my products in this one area. Now, if I go to my channels, you can then see I have 3 channels, as I showed in the PowerPoint. And if I open one of the channels, you see the partner shop for Europe, it's my partner network channel. There I have my bikes, clothing, components, and accessories, and then I have some new campaign products. And basically, it's just an organization of products I have decided to set up in this one, so I can separate and know what kind of products do we send out in our feed. So when a partner receives the data, they can, on the product itself, see that is this a bike, this is a clothing, is this a components, accessories, or what kind of product are they receiving, and with these informations, place it correct into their own e-commerce solution. It could also be the printing catalog. As you can see, I have one called the main catalog, and the main catalog have this 4 sections, section 1 to 4. Again, to indicate in InDesign and Easy Catalog, where should these products go to? And you will see that a little bit later on when I show the integration with Easy Catalog, that because I put it into this structure, I can automatically organize the product in Easy Catalog and automatically put it into the pages there in the sections where they belong to. But there could also be other production of printing catalogs or printing leaflets. It could be that you have a leaflet going out in the spring 2020, maybe just with a section with new products, recommended equipment, and maybe service equipment. So as you can see, completely different organizing of your products, but that's maybe to be used in a leaflet. Now let's try to select some of the products. I go to my dashboard. I have this 6 products ready for publishing. I go in there. They are completed 100%. And I maybe say that, well, these 6 products should go into a publish channel. There I get a list of all channels that are available with my login. I go to my partner shop. I say these 6 products are new products that should go in there to indicate to my partners that these are new products. And I maybe want to put it into my leaflets, new products in the spring 2020. I save. And when I now go back to my channels, there my 6 products are represented in this area. And even in my print catalog, the leaflets are represented in this catalog. So again, very easy to select the wanted products we want to distribute and point out which channel and which place in the channel these products should go into. So when the next time a partner maybe call with the feed URL saying that are the new products available for the partner network, then I could maybe look like this. I go now to my feed section, and you can see I have these 2 feeds for external partners, and this is a JSON format, and this is as an XML format. So let's take the JSON format. I click on it, and this is my setup. What kind of information just could go out to the external partner with the JSON format. So I have specified my JSON format here. I have selected the fields that should be represented in this format. Then I can verify it by click on this URL, and there's the content. So these are the products that are distributed into a JSON format with products from my partner channel. Now, if I go back and say, well, I have another platform, so I want to have XML instead of JSON. Well, basically the same. The feed are set up with the specific fields we want. That's the same as the JSON format. But I have here selected my XML provider. Now, when I click on the link below, I will get the raw Dynamicweb XML format. But if there was a need of transferring to another structure in the XML file, we can also add in an XSLT style. Now I take the raw XML format, click again on this link, and there we are. So these are the same products as I get in the JSON formatted feed, but just this one are JSON. This is a raw JSON, that's a parsed JSON, and this is my XML. These are the same products, these are the same fields, it's just the structure, XML structure are different. So again, if you want to support your partners in the partner network with different feeds or different formats, maybe meet the requirement from Magento, Sitecore, or whatever e-commerce solution they are there, they could be specified and set up in the system quite easily. Now let's switch back to the PowerPoint again for how to set these things up. Well, again, there are 2 things that have to be set up. Of course, a channel. If you want to make a new channel, that could be set up. And of course, the feed you want to attach to these channels. And again, there could be multiple feeds that could be attached to the channel. Now let's go back and take the channel. Now the setup of a new channel is done in the setting area. It's in our PIM area, and there you have the channels. So we have a list of the channels, and I can say I want to make a new channel. I get these informations, I put in a name, I call webinar channel. I could specify which rules should be used in this particular channel, and even which language should be based on the rules in the channel. There I can see save and close. I've added this channel now, and if I go back to my PIM area, I go to channels, there you can see my new channel. Of course, there are no structure in here, but then you can start making your structure, just saying new 1, close, and new 2. Again, depending on what are the need of channel informations to the users and the feed from this particular channel. That will typically decide the structure you make in the channel itself. The same thing with feeds. Feeds can be done from the backend area here directly, and you can make it into folders. So you can basically say, make a new feed in here, and we can call it just webinar feed. I can decide which query do I want it to be based on. I maybe take this one, and you decide which languages do you want to go into the feed. Should be possible to extract the Danish language on the products and the English language, or whatever language should be possible to extract. The currency, maybe take this one, and then I can select the shop itself, the channel itself. And then I can decide, do I want a template provider or an XML provider? And I can decide which fields should go into the feed itself, and save and close. So again, it's quite easy to set up a new channel, to make a structure in the channel, and even to go in and make the needed feed for that particular channel. Okay, that was, you can say, how to maintain the channels and feeds and what it can be used for. Let's try to make the showcase now, where I use it in Easy Catalog, the plugin to InDesign. Most of you probably know about Easy Catalog, and it's a very powerful tool, and a lot of companies use it for organizing and maintaining products in huge catalogs. And they can be built up automatically functions and automatically switching between item types and so on and so on. There are a lot of things that can be controlled in Easy Catalog. And most of the things can even be controlled in the data from Dynamicweb PIM. So based on the format and based on the structure, that could be more or less done automatically. Now let's take a look. Just made this one screen just to explain what is happening. Now, as you saw that I have in my printing catalog channel, I had an area called main catalog. In this main catalog, I have these 4 sections where I have separated my products into. Now, I have added a feed to this channel and even to this specific section of the channel. So when I click on the feed in a few minutes, I make an extraction of all products that are placed in these for subfolders. The feed or the call to the feed are done directly in the Easy Catalog panel. So I do not export this feed into a specific file and then import it into InDesign or it's Easy Catalog. No, I call it directly from Easy Catalog and it retrieves the data directly into the panel, and then I can start organizing the things. And finally, based on this organizations of the data, I'll then put it into a template or document, InDesign document I have prepared, and you will see how it's flow into all the pages automatically. And these are the pages I end up with. Now, let's begin. I'll go back to the live system. Just turn off these two, make a new pen, because I could, of course, go down to my printing catalog. I have this one called Easy Catalog InDesign XML. I could call it down here, but just to simulate that, it could also just be a link like this one, because that's the link I want to use in Easy Catalog. So basically, this link gives me access to all products below my main catalog in the channel printing catalog. So I take this link, go into InDesign, and start a new project. So I go to my file, new, Easy Catalog panel, and then I can decide which source type do I want to import. I take the XML data source. It's opened up this window, and again, as I mentioned, I could define what kind of source do I want to use. Now I want to use the URL source because that was the link I just copied. Give it a name, call it DV webinar. I make a retrieve from this particular source, and I can go to this area here because I need to select where is my product node, where is my XPath. Well, in this structure here, my XPath is on this position. I can make an evaluation. It tells me that there are 53 products in this feed. I can go in and make a new list or an overview of all the fields that are represented on all these 53 products, because I have to decide which of these fields are the unique identifier to be used if they've been making updates or whatever they're done. So I select this ID as my unique key or as my key, and then I press OK. Then I have my, my panel. It's coming up here. Just expand the window. So these are the products I just have retrieved from my feed to the pending catalog channel. Now, this is fully unorganized. So this is just came in as it is. Then I could start organizing these data so it meet my requirement for the organization in my document. But I have, of course, prepared a configuration so I can go in, take the configuration, make it import, and say, this is the one. And there you see it collapsed all my products and put it in to a structure. And as you can see, this is the structure from my channel. So what I've done here is that I have read informations from the channel feed and organize it into this structure. So now I have all the bikes in section 1, I have all my clothing in section 2, and so on, all my shoes in section 3. So now I have organized all the data in Easy Catalog with using the structure from my channel. Then I will open my document. Take this one. And as you can see, oops, these are the item types. There's my panel. This document is just a quite simple one with a front page, with an inner page on page 2. And then from there, page 3, it starts to insert the products I have in my list in the panel. So now I can take all the products by clicking on the main catalog. I can go to my panel menu. I can say paginate. Get some specifications, just keep what it is, and press OK. Now it's working. It's importing the data, is fetching the images specified in the feed, placed everything, organized it into the documents, and as you can see behind, the products are now read into the system. Now, in my setup here, I have a full page picture for each category of products. So section 1 is called bikes with this image. And there I get all my bike products. The next section, clothing, is coming here. And of course, this controlling of these sections is done by Easy Catalog, but again, based on the structure from the channel from Dynamicweb. So there's my clothing, shoes, and accessories. There we are. So very easy to retrieve the products directly from the feed and place it into a predefined setup of document. And of course, those of you that know Easy Catalog, there could be a lot of different items that could be set up depending on the product type and so on and so on. But this is to show how it's easy to retrieve the things. Now, let's say that we now have a change on one of the products, because you typically start with placing and organizing your planning catalog, maybe before all the prices are on place, or maybe all the text are on place. So you begin this layout work quite a long time before it should go into to press. Let's take a bike. We take this mongoose. We go back to the PIM system. Now I cannot make changes in my catalog, in my channel directly. So I go to my workflow here. I take my marketing. I have my product, mongoose virtual street number 2. I have this product. So I just go in and say webinar. In this case, oops. And maybe add to my teaser text. I could, of course, have changed the price and all that kind of things. I save the product. So this is the change that happened in the PIM solution directly. I do not do anything more because this product are already linked to my section 1. So I do not have to make a new export. I do not have to make anything in the system. I've just made the changes. The user that sit with InDesign can, on a certain time, go in, say, I want now to synchronize the data with my data source. So I make a synchronization. I get the message, one record has been updated. You will see in the Easy Catalog panel that this is the product, and the field name and the description have been changed. And of course, if the price have changed, it's also been marked with red. I can look at these information and say, well, yes, correct. I need them to be updated in the catalog. I can go in again with Easy Catalog tool, and say update document, and I just take them all and press OK. And there we are. Now we have got the webinar and the changes into the document directly. So you can see if you are producing catalogs, paper catalogs, it's a very useful tool, and it's very useful to have this access directly to the feed. So you all the time just can make a synchronization, and the last minute you could get the latest prices and the latest text into the Easy Catalog and InDesign just before you send the PDF to press. So that was the showcase of how to use channel and feeds and use it in a setup with InDesign and Easy Catalog. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the information and can see it's quite useful to use channels and feeds. And if you want to read more, you can go into our websites or to our doc sites, and you can even a little bit later on today see the webinar has been recorded and placed on our website as well.